Christopher Columbus was an explorer, a genius navigator, and a murderer. Ferdinand Magellan was a ruthless killer and an explorer who circumnavigated the globe. Both men had one thing in common. They were both considered heroes at the time they lived, celebrated for their discoveries and achievements during what historians now call the Age of Exploration. But how many people know that behind all those heroic stories lay the darker reality? How many of us learned about the atrocities committed by European powers in the so-called New World? The answer is not many. And this is why the Age of Exploration, the true cost of discovering a new world, is our topic for today. What were the real reasons for those voyages across the oceans? Why did Columbus head west when he knew very well there was land to the east? And most importantly, what was the real price paid to discover a new world? If you want to find out more, stay with us till the end of this episode. You don't want to miss this. Before we get started, be sure to hit the like button for more videos. Also, stick around for the end of the video where we will share another video that we know you will love. Let's go back to 15th century Europe. It was a time when trade with Asia was extremely profitable, but traveling to get there was expensive and dangerous. The routes through the Mediterranean Sea were long and fraught with the risk of attack by pirates or the powerful Ottoman Empire, so Europeans started looking for other ways to get to Asia. At that time, most Europeans believed the Earth was round, but they underestimated its size. They also thought that Africa was much larger than it actually is. They did not know that the tip of South Africa was less than 200 miles from the island of Madagascar. Just a stone's throw away if you have a really good arm. There was also the theory that Asia was connected to Europe by land somewhere in the far north, but that turned out to be a dead end, because the Arctic Circle is covered in ice and snow. The only other way to get to Asia was to sail west across the Atlantic Ocean, though no one had ever done this before. Enter Christopher Columbus, an Italian explorer who convinced the Spanish monarchs, Ferdinand and Isabella, to fund his voyage across the Atlantic. On August 3, 1492, Columbus set sail from Spain with 3 ships, the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria, with a crew of about 90 men. After a month at sea, on October 12, 1492, they sighted land. But it wasn't India or China. It was the Bahamas. Columbus never realized that he had actually reached the Americas. He spent his entire life believing that he had found a new route to Asia. After his first voyage, Columbus made 4 more trips across the Atlantic. Each time he landed in the Caribbean, Central America, or South America, he enslaved and mistreated the indigenous people he encountered. In 1498, he was even put in chains for whipping a Native American chief to death. It is estimated that in total, Columbus and his crew killed around 10,000 indigenous people during their voyages. In 1519, Portuguese explorer Ferdinand Magellan set sail on a nearly 3-year-long journey that would take him and his crew around the world. Magellan's journey was even more dangerous than Columbus's. His fleet of 5 ships faced enormous waves, violent storms, and starvation. The crew was attacked by natives who had never seen white men before. In Brazil, 27 men were killed after attacking the Portuguese. In the Philippines, Magellan himself was killed in a battle with the natives. Only one of the 5 ships that had set out on the voyage completed the journey. Magellan's journey is considered a significant event in world history, because it proved that the Earth was indeed round. It also led to the widespread acceptance of the heliocentric theory, which placed the Sun at the center of the solar system rather than the Earth. However, Magellan's journey was also marked by the enslavement and murder of indigenous people. In fact, Magellan and his crew captured several indigenous people and sold them into slavery. During the battle in the Philippines, Magellan's men killed hundreds of natives. The Age of Exploration refers to the period in European history between the 15th and 17th centuries when European countries began exploring and conquering the world. The main purpose of these voyages was to find new trade routes to Asia, but they also resulted in the discovery of the Americas and the start of the colonial era. The Age of Exploration was marked by significant technological advancements, including improvements in shipbuilding and navigation. These advances allowed European ships to travel farther and stay at sea for longer periods of time, which was crucial for discovering new lands and trade routes. European powers used advanced tools such as astrolabes, quadrants, and magnetic compasses to navigate the oceans and accurately determine their location. Gunpowder technology also played a significant role during this period, as European weapons were much more advanced than those of the indigenous populations. This gave the Europeans a military advantage and allowed them to conquer and control new territories. During the Age of Exploration, European powers, including Portugal, Spain, the Netherlands, and Britain, competed fiercely to explore and conquer new lands. They established colonies, trading posts, and shipping routes to control valuable resources such as gold, silver, and spices. The discovery of the Americas by Christopher Columbus in 1492 marked a turning point in world history and had profound implications for the future of humanity. It led to the Columbian Exchange, which was the transfer of plants, animals, diseases, and people between the Americas and the Old World. This exchange had a profound impact on both continents and helped to shape the modern world. However, the Age of Exploration also had a devastating impact on indigenous populations. As European powers colonized new lands, they brought with them diseases such as smallpox and measles, which devastated native populations who had no immunity to these illnesses. Additionally, European explorers and conquerors often enslaved or massacred indigenous people, and they also introduced invasive species to new environments, which devastated local plants and animals. Despite the horrors that occurred during the Age of Exploration, it remains a pivotal period in world history. The discoveries and conquests of European powers led to significant changes in the global balance of power and helped to shape the modern world. The Age of Exploration was a time of great adventure and discovery, but it was also a time of great suffering and loss. It is important to remember the human cost of exploration and colonization and to learn from the mistakes of the past as we continue to explore and interact with the world around us. Now let's take a look at some interesting facts about the Age of Exploration. Did you know that during the Age of Exploration, the Chinese were the first to use the compass and the astrolabe, which is a device used for navigation? The Chinese also developed the first European-style sailing ship and were the first to circumnavigate Africa. However, the Portuguese eventually took over Chinese trade routes and became the first Europeans to reach India by sailing around Africa. Another interesting fact is that the Aztecs had a written language, but it was destroyed by the Spanish conquistadors. The Inca also had a sophisticated road system, but it was dismantled by the Spanish. Did you know that the Mayans were the first to invent the concept of zero? But again, the Spanish conquistadors were quick to erase any trace of this achievement. In conclusion, the Age of Exploration was a significant period in world history that had a profound impact on the course of human civilization. While it led to incredible discoveries and advancements in technology and trade, it also resulted in the exploitation and decimation of indigenous populations. As we reflect on this era, it is important to acknowledge both the positive and negative aspects of this period and learn from the mistakes of the past as we continue to explore and interact with the world around us. Did you enjoy this episode? Tell us in the comments below. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe for more great content. We have another video that we know you will love. Just click the link on the screen now. Thanks for watching. See you next time.